D. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Farzy Show, presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. It's wonderful to have you along for the ride. The whole house has strep throat. That's where we're at. I told you yesterday, poor little Leo, little 4-year-old, soon to be 4-year-old little Leo. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yep, the flu and strep at the same time. That's impressive, actually. Little Toots dealing with strep, preventative for the flu. Wife was running a fever last night. Me, I feel fantastic. But I know I'm going to have a full day of taking care of the house. There was one little moment, two little moments, if you include the Eagles trading for Michael Carter II for their as a new DB with experience at nickel, which is nice, obviously. There's a lot of stuff there that makes you happy. It's certainly an upgrade over what you got. And then there was something else. Took the kids to get some fast food yesterday. They were just they wanted it. I was like, they're not feeling well. Give them a win. And as I'm in line, the nice lady that's taking the order, I'm in the drive-through line, and I don't know what it was. She just kept calling me baby. She's like, "Well, can I take your order, baby?" And I was like, like, you don't hear that really anymore. And I love that. I think that's charming as hell. I absolutely love that. And I couldn't help but to laugh. And I think she could hear me laughing through the through the microphone there. And my wife wasn't with me. Otherwise, she would have given me the side eye. Like, you know this person? As my wife always says, I'm a Scorpio. I'll be a circle around you. You're mine. Like that kind of thing. And then I swear there was one sugar. There was one, I think at the end, I think it was like, does that complete your order, sugar? And it's like, what is happening? I love this. It put a smile on my face. And then moments later, gave kids some medicine. They were feeling better. Michael Carter II was acquired by your Philadelphia Eagles. We'll get into that trade. We'll also get into a little wish list I put together for the Eagles in the post-bye week portion of the season. I will just tell you, there's everything on here is more or less tactical. There's one little thing on here that doesn't have to do exactly with anything tactical, anything that you can measure, really. It's more or less a nuisance that I find. And it's similar to the nuisance I'm hoping we can avoid, because I've already heard the rumblings. And I told you guys Monday morning when I was doing my Fox 29 hit, they asked me about the clip of Joel Embiid saying I could be at home. I could be at home right now. And that to me, fine, then go home. I didn't take offense to what he said. I thought the point he was making wasn't one of being, a complainer. I think it was more along the lines of that's how he feels when he's held to playing 20 minutes when he's used to playing 40 minutes, 35 minutes, and getting 40 points in a game. When he's being asked to do less, he feels like he can just sit at home. I get it. That probably sucks. But I in no way, shape, or form intend to look upon that as if Joel Embiid is becoming a drama problem when it comes to things off the court, when it comes to being a complainer off the court, in the training room, in the coaching room, in the meeting room, when he's talking to the front office. I didn't take it like that at all. I think Joel Embiid wants to be the model teammate this year, and I think Joel Embiid wants to be the model teammate for the next 4 years. Now, what it's going to come down to is whether or not he's going to hold this team back, or he's going to help this team advance. That's what it's going to come down to. That's the real concern right now for the 76ers. Obviously, can they continue to play at the level that they've been playing at? When the league adjusts to VJ Edgecombe, how is he going to adjust back? Can him and Tyrese Maxey keep this up? I saw them on NBA, Inside the NBA, whatever it is now on ESPN, which is still great that they're all together. Whatever. They had Maxey and they had VJ Edgecombe on last night, and you could see the camaraderie, the friendship, and all that. And look, this shouldn't be anything breaking to any Sixers fan. You have seen this already. You have seen Tyrese Maxey get interviewed after a 50-point or 49-point performance, and 40-point performance, and he's slapping high fives, and they're literally giggling with one another. Maxey with VJ Edgecombe, and they're just happy as anything. You love seeing stuff like that. But last night, they get him on TV, and Charles Barkley asked him the question because they got the shot of them both, and Maxey's in the upper corner of the screen, and Maxey's lower, or excuse me, VJ's lower, and Charles Barkley says, "Hey, Tyrese, you just got paid, man. Can't you afford to give your boy some fine art like you have in the background?" And you look behind Maxey, there's this nice, beautiful painting. And then you look behind VJ, it's just white walls. It's just blank white walls. To which, for the second time in 3 interviews, Tyrese Maxey referred to Joel Embiid and VJ Edgecombe as high picks while he was a lowly, 20th pick, I believe he was. He's like, oh, those top 3 picks, they got money. I had to wait for mine, like that kind of thing. And VJ's laughing his butt off. Like, it's so much fun to not only watch a team go out there and win, but watch a team go out there and have fun. That is fun. They're 4-0, and they're having a blast, and it comes through the TV, or it goes off the court into the stands, and you can see how much fun they're having as a basketball team. This is just an absolute blast watching this team. I can't say it enough. Also, I mentioned a couple of things here. Numbers-wise, we'll get into with the wish list here, but a couple of surprising things. I've been tracking win rates for the Eagles' offensive line, as well as the edge rusher position and defensive tackle position as well. There's one name that actually jumped up here, and maybe it'll tell you how much stock to put in the win rates or not. But there's one name on that list that I was like, I really didn't expect it. And then after I saw that name, I went back and I watched, in particular, Brett Toth's performance on the film against the New York Giants. And there was actually 2 plays that jumped out to me. One was Toth, the other was Landon Dickerson. And they both happened early in the game, and I really do think it set a tone. But the first play was the 65-yard run. Landon Dickerson doing a phenomenal job of double-teaming, getting off, and getting to the second level. And that second level block, after Dickerson came up and double-teamed the defensive tackle, got off that block on the perfect time, at the perfect time, as Saquon was getting to the line of scrimmage. He gets to the next level, takes out the linebacker, and Saquon scampers 65 more yards. Well, at that point, it would have been about 62 more yards. That was a perfectly executed play by Landon Dickerson that helped make that 65-yard touchdown run happen. The other was a much smaller, much more modest play, and this was from Brett Toth against the Giants. Second possession, first quarter for the Philadelphia Eagles. They run that little screen play to Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts in the shotgun, takes the beat, dumps it over to Saquon, and as he's dumping it off to Saquon, you see your guard, center, guard pull, get upfield, and Brett Toth in particular just eliminate the defensive back that was out there. I couldn't see his number, but he just knocked him on his ass. That's the kind of play any center, any interior lineman dreams of making on a screen. Like, I got to block this wee fella? Okay, touch, gone. He's out of the play. Go enjoy the run, Saquon. It only ended up being 12 yards. But to see that play run, to see that play executed well, to see guys like Landon Dickerson on that same play get off the line, to see a guy like Brett Toth get off the line, to see them execute that play, Tyler Steen and all that, to see them execute that play to the point of getting over 10 yards on it, more of that, please. Because you run 1 or 2 of those in a game, and we listened to Kevin Matullo a couple of days ago talk about how they always have one of those plays in the arsenal, and they're just looking for the right time to call it. Apparently, second possession, right time to call it. They called it. It was successful for 12 yards. Keep running that play, and those guys from Dickerson to Steen and Toth in the middle, or Cam Jurgens hopefully in the middle as well. You get them off the line of scrimmage, you get them upfield, and they can just eliminate would-be tacklers. That play can be sprung. And then you also have a guy named Saquon Barkley who's he's pretty good at making guys miss as well. So that's a play I absolutely love to see in that game, and would love to see more of it as the season goes on. But just evaluating the offensive line play is something that I've been hypercritical on throughout this season because they certainly haven't played to the bar that they have played at. Like, I honestly look at this offensive line similar to how I look at Jalen Hurts. Like these elite, like phenomenal talent. Extremely high bar has been set. Stay at that high level. And if you do things that are not at that high level, well, then you better be doing something else fantastic. Like, for instance, Jalen Hurts against the Giants. The phrase I had used in the first Giants game was meat on the bone. A lot of meat left on the bone. You guys have heard me talk about this before. But if you find a way to throw 4 other touchdown passes, yeah, I'm going to kind of forgive you a little bit. I'm going to be like, okay, well, we did something else to help you with. People talk about the pick 6 by Jalen Hunt against the Vikings. And then Jalen, yeah, he had a perfect passer rating. But if you didn't have that touchdown by Jalen Hunt, that pick 6, what would it look like in the fourth quarter? And I got to tell you, I remain confident that Jalen would have had another play in him to make sure that that win was going to be a little bit more comfortable. Push didn't come to shove where you needed to activate that home run play, if you will. But I had confidence that if it was going to come down to it, 2 things. 1, Carson would choke it away. And 2, Jalen would not. Jalen would capitalize given the opportunity. I can only think that and say with great confidence that even if Jalen Hunt did not come up with that interception, return for a touchdown, if Jalen Carter did not find a way to get to Carson Wentz and rush that throw by a step or 2, I have confidence that the offense, led by Jalen Hurts, would have come up with a bigger play at the end of that game to make sure that they were going to win a little bit more comfortably. Now, here again is the schedule that you got coming up after the bye week. For people that haven't checked this out yet, it is not an easy one. Green Bay Packers. You go to Lambeau. Then you take on the Detroit Lions at home for an NBC Sunday night kickoff. Then you got the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Chicago Bears, you're hosting them on Black Friday. Go to Los Angeles then for the Monday night kickoff, another Monday night game, second of the post-bye slate. That one's against Justin Herbert. And then you got on December 14th, the Vegas Raiders. Then you finish up on the road. Excuse me, you have 2 games on the road before coming back home to finish things off against the Washington Commanders. There you go, for a TBD as per usual. That's the way that game plays out, or the rest of the season plays out for your Eagles. So it's certainly a tough run. Let's get to Michael Carter here. Before I get to my wish list, because this was really number 3 on my list, which was find DB help, because Ja'Cory Bennett most likely going to be activated next week when they come back. Keely Ringo. It's funny for a guy that's as hard on his guys as anybody, Vic Fangio, and very real with his players. He seems to just really like Keely Ringo, and he's going to keep giving him opportunities. Also, Adoree Jackson continuing to get opportunities as well. These are all guys that aren't exactly the fixers here. They're not the solution. But a guy like Michael Carter, who has also signed a $30 million deal, almost $31 million deal with the Jets just last year. This is a guy that the Jets had confidence in. This is a guy that now the official title of Joe Douglas returning to the Eagles, assistant to the general manager, something like that, specialist. Something. He drafted Michael Carter II to the New York Jets when he was the GM of the New York Jets. This is a guy that can come in here. He can give you versatility. He's a starter. He's a 5th-round pick that has certainly done well. You're a 5th-round pick that ends up signing a $30 million deal over the course of 3 years, then people are gonna notice that. So I like this move. I like this move a lot. It also gives you the versatility, like I mentioned. I find it interesting, though, that Cooper DeJean keeps getting talked about with versatility. And if you missed it yesterday, I played the cut for you of Vic Fangio talking about DeJean and what he brings to the table. Here he is again, just talking about that versatility, because I think there's a tie in here to the Carter acquisition.
No, he's, we got very lucky that he lasted till the middle of the 2nd round. And I think the reason he did, because he only played corner in college, at least his last year. And I don't think everybody was sure, was he a 1st-round corner, 2nd-round corner, 3rd-round corner. I don't think the league as a whole had a feel for his versatility, because he didn't play it in college. And, you know, he's really a damn good nickel, probably one of the best nickels in the league. And we're playing him at corner in the base. He could play safety if we needed him to. He's a defensive back, but really he's just a good football player.
Really unprompted, there's a lot of discussion this year from Vic Fangio about Cooper DeJean's versatility. He was asked about during the bye week, about the trade deadline and if this helps him help Howie and be more involved and who the Eagles could get to upgrade really any position on the defensive side of the football that, of course, Vic Fangio would be interested in. And he said, minuscule. He helps in that process a minuscule amount. All right. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw a hell of a lot more of Cooper DeJean playing on the outside. Playing on the outside in base. He's obviously playing nickel, in dime and all that. And then you're also talking about the possibility of him playing safety. I think Drew Makuba is certainly putting in the startup costs right now, paying the startup costs. You can talk about some inconsistencies there. You can go back to the Tampa game, him and Reed Blankenship letting a touchdown go through their arms for 72 yards? I don't know. There was 2 70-plus yard touchdowns in that one. That was a bit of a rough one to follow. There's been the up and down moments. There's the interception, of course, that he had in the Kansas City Chiefs game. You're going up against some top-tier talent now in this second half of the schedule. You're going up against an opponent that certainly knows you in the Dallas Cowboys after taking on the Packers and the Lions. Things don't get real easy here, is what I'm saying. Could there be a change? Now, you could look at this Eagles team and say, they're 6-2, they're fine. Don't want a drastic change. Need I remind you, this is the same Eagles team that at 10-3 changed defensive play callers, for crying out loud. They don't, I mean, you are what your record says you are. No, how you play is what you are. That's what you are. Now, does that dictate your record? Yeah, most times. But then you could also look back at some things and go, oh, that's pretty fraudulent. The fact that you won that game, you got lucky in this situation, you got that call. Against the Giants, you had a fumble that was a fumble, but they didn't say it was a fumble. Like, there's little things like that you could go through every game and nitpick. Then there's other games where it's pretty obvious, like, yeah, they're pretty lucky to win that one. The Eagles knew defensively with Sean Desai that they could be better. They thought Matt Patricia would be that answer. I thought it was crazy at the time. So crazy, it just might work. It didn't. And now they could be looking at, okay, Drew Makuba's been good. I'm glad we got these 8 weeks with him at the safety position. And I don't think they're going to ever move Cooper DeJean to one position full-time 100%. Other than corner and nickel corner. That's his role. But I don't think they're ever going to replace Drew Makuba with Cooper DeJean as a safety. There might be a time or two. Tight game. Teams looking to air it out. Maybe you want Cooper DeJean to be the deepest man on the field. Maybe you want his instincts to see if he can come up with an interception for you. Maybe you want him coming up with a full head of steam to just wreck somebody and maybe force a fumble. A guy like Michael Carter II, not a guy like, but Michael Carter II can certainly help aid in getting more versatility out of Cooper DeJean. But I do like what Vic Fangio has to say as far as, hey, look, if he's playing great at one position, you generally want to keep him at that position playing great and not ask him to do other things if you already know he's doing that one thing phenomenally well. And I'll reiterate what I said yesterday. Cooper DeJean is a guy that if you had a football coach like Vic Fangio and you said, hey, draw up a football player, we'll produce it, we'll make it happen, he would design a guy like Cooper DeJean. Form tackling, coverage, everything. Smarts, everything. He's got that. He's out. It is also interesting with him and Quenyon Mitchell. I was thinking about this with Seth Joyner during the game last week. When's the last time the Eagles had two very good tackling corners like this? Like, did you got to go back to Lido and Sheldon? Because that's what it feels like. Not only just great in coverage, but also guys that can end the play. They can make that tackle. Run a sweep to their side, you got confidence they're going to come up and make a stop. Run a screen to their side, you have confidence they're going to come up and make a stop. And then one-on-one, you feel like these guys can make that tackle. And DeJean, every single time, just seems to be in that right position to be in that perfect form tackle textbook way of doing things. So I like this a lot. I like the versatility it provides the Eagles. I think he automatically becomes that next corner. We were talking about Keely Ringo, Dory Jackson, Ja'Cory Bennett. I think once Michael Carter understands what his assignment is, what his role is, he'll be taking over that spot. So I look forward to seeing that for you Eagles. As far as your wish list for the post-bye week portion of the schedule there, I showed it for you there a second ago. In no particular order, I'm going to start off with the first thing that is not football, okay? I'm going to start out with this thing, drama. The Eagles are trying to do something extremely special here. They're trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Now, I know in that locker room, we're not trying to repeat, we're not defending, but whatever. Okay, this is what's happening. You're trying to win another Super Bowl, no matter how you want to slice it. The Eagles have so much talent on this team. They have an opportunity here to do something really, really special, which is be back-to-back Super Bowl champions. The A.J. Brown stuff, stop with the drama. The Kevin Patullo's an idiot, and every good play is either a check down by Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni called it. This team, I don't think needs any distraction. They have the best possible goal in front of them of being back-to-back Super Bowl champions. They do that, then you can start talking about a dynasty, okay? A.J. Brown, Jalen Carter spitting on a player. Don't need any of that BS. Just concentrate on winning football games above and beyond. That's what you need to do. Establishing the run game, building off what you did yesterday. Well, what we talked about yesterday with Kevin Patullo. Listen to this and what worked for the run game.
I think when you look through the whole season up to this point, we've been close on a few things, and just continue to work in the direction of knowing, we want to run the ball and complement that with the other things that we have going on. It's just kind of a matter of time. The guys did a really, really good job of just executing and doing everything they can to prepare for the different looks we might get. So it was good. It was a good thing to kind of have it go the way it went and build to this point. We knew we were really, really close, and it was exciting to see. It adds another element to our offense, obviously.
An element that you had before, and for whatever reason this year it wasn't there. Guys missing their blocks, guys not understanding what their assignment was, not calling it enough, not designing it better, whatever. This run game can also really help you clear up a lot of what's been wrong offensively. And think about what you could do for Jalen Hurts if you open up that run game. Pick your poison type of thing. That's what I loved hearing. You heard it from Jalen in minicamp. Teams have looked at Saquon Barkley and how you played in the Super Bowl. How do you think teams are going to defend you? Pick your poison, is what he said. It was great to hear that after the Giants game as well, the second Giants game. Yeah, it's kind of like pick your poison. I hope so. I certainly hope so. So, no drama, please. Run game, reestablished. Build off what you were able to do. As part of the run game, the more screens. I talked about it in the second possession there against the Giants. You saw that nice little screen play. Saquon Barkley lined up to the right of Jalen Hurts in the shotgun. Guard center guard pulled, made blocks downfield. You got a 12-yard gain out of it. Not the best, but it worked. Got to 10-plus yards. I'm happy with that. Think about what can happen if you get better at that play. Let's see all that unfold. We talk about it every training camp. We talk about it every training camp where it's like, is this going to be they bring the screen game back? Is it possible? And then every year we're disappointed. We'll actually see it come to fruition a little bit, but yeah, I'd like to see that a lot more in the second half of the season after the bye week. Jalen Carter. I'd love to see him rack up the sacks in the second half of the season. Now, it's not just really him. It's really just getting after the quarterback in general. But Jalen Carter is the best defensive lineman that you got. So I'd like to see him open up things, even if it's not him doing it. See him open up things for everybody else on this defensive line. Now, Jalen Carter right now and Moro Ojomo, how about this? Have a win rate, both of them. Moro Ojomo and Jalen Carter of 13%. Ojomo right now is ranked 9th in terms of overall win rate. That's win percentage, but in terms of win rate, Ojomo's ranked 9th. Jalen Carter is ranked 7th. They are right there in the pecking order in the NFL in top 10. That's pretty impressive. Let's build on that. Let's get in the top 5 in the second half of the season. It's going to be tough against the Packers. It's going to be tough against the Detroit Lions. It's going to be tough either way. But if you up your game and you speed up that clock in Jordan Love's head, you speed up that clock in Jared Goff's head, then guys like Cooper DeJean, guys like Quentin Mitchell, Michael Carter II, Drew Makuba, Reed Blankenship. Oh, these guys are going to be chopping at the bit to get that ball in their hands. So see all that. Now, in part of this is get Nolan Smith back soon. He'll most likely be the guy. He's most likely the guy that a lot of people are looking at when he comes back to start upping the sack numbers. Vic Fangio talked about, I know everyone wants to see the sack, but it's just really about affecting the quarterback. Yeah, I rather affect the quarterback and their field position and what play they could possibly call in the next one on a 3rd and long that might put your defense in the best possible position to have success. So a sack helps. You're affecting the play? Great. Force a bad throw? Great. No sack, but interception? Yeah, I'll take that trade. That's a fun one. Getting the ball back for your offense? I like that. And then even if you have a 3 and out, you can still punt the football and put them in terrible field position. But let's not plan on 3 and outs. So getting Nolan Smith back, I mean, health is kind of the overriding thing here. I didn't put it on the list, but I think everyone knows that. Getting Dickerson back healthy, playing at a higher level, similar to what you saw before the bye week. Getting Juergens back healthy. Nolan Smith, Jacorian Bennett, I mentioned. But here's the interesting thing that I was looking at the offensive line. Now, also on this list here is the O-line and overall play of the offensive line. And it also goes into what we were just talking about there with the run game opening up against the Giants. But how about this? Lane Johnson talked about win rate, 18th in the NFL. He wasn't on that list 2 weeks ago. Jordan Mailata was the only Eagles offensive lineman on any list about win rate. Lane Johnson's now on there at 18th in the NFL. Jordan Mailata no longer on the list. Huh. That's interesting. Jordan Mailata is like the only guy other than Tyler Steen that you haven't looked at and go, oh, injury? No? Okay. And Cam Juergens, as I teased earlier, was the name in win rate that I did not expect to see on the list. And there he is. 11th in win rate in the NFL amongst interior offensive linemen. Didn't see that. And yet, here we are. So, wish list, love to see more screens. Improving at corner, Michael Carter II certainly does that. Jalen Carter racking up sacks. That's really what I want to see. Opening up the run game, building off what you saw. No drama. Just, I got no time for drama. It's like you have it's like being on a road trip with the family. You want to pull over and you want to get food. Not that you're starving, but you just pass a McDonald's, for instance. I want to sell McDonald's. I no time. I have to make it from Philly to Pittsburgh in a new record. So we're not stopping to get some toy you're going to end up throwing away in a week anyway. That's how I feel about it. So there you go. There you go. Yep. All right. Let me tell you about the great people at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's phlsportsnation.com. Let's get into the chat to check and see how you guys are doing on this fine, fine day. Rye, good morning. Hello, Central Time. Thank you. Danny, hello. If I ever do move to Italy, what would I be over there? Would I be a midday show? I think I'd be a midday show. Sean Kilrain, hello. Danny, did I say hello? Hello. Reminder, former Chargers standout quarterback Asante Samuel Jr., still free agent. 26 years old, former second-round pick. It is interesting. And he's healthy now, I think. I think he's healthy. Sean Gillespie, good morning. April, hello. Tyrese Maxey says Sean Kilrain has been on a heater to start the season. 37 points per game, second in the NBA. 7.7 assists, 4 rebounds per game, 46.1 field goal percentage. He's pretty good. 51% from 3. That is pretty damn good. Pretty good. Please enjoy this styling of Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, different scheme. You always look at the defense that you're playing, their players, obviously the first thing that you look at, then their technique.
Thank you. Had to take care of a medical issue right there. I don't think I'm getting sick. I hope it's just allergies. But the whole house is sick. So yay. Where did I go here? There it is. They got April, got Sean, the transparency. That NFC North trip will be rough. I agree, Sean Gillespie. By the way, the Eagles have 3 third-round picks. My guess is they still move for a pass rusher of some sort. Sean, I agree with your contention. DJ and Mr. Sandman, what's going on? I have no idea what Fangio plans to do with DeJean and Carter. Maybe unpredictable nature makes him a good coordinator. Maybe. Flyers 5-3-1. Play tonight versus the Predators. Keep it going. April, thank you very much. He is feeling better. He was feeling better yesterday morning, but officially diagnosed strep, the flu. He wanted to wrestle yesterday, though, so he's definitely feeling like his normal self. Sean Kilrain, Jay looks Hunt over the last 2 games, 12 pressures, second in the NFL last 2 weeks. There you go. Italy is 5 hours ahead, so 6:30 show would be 5. Thank you, Rye. Appreciate that. I was going back and forth in my head to 5 or 6 hours. Thank you, Rye. Appreciate that. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. As Rye mentioned, Philadelphia Flyers fresh off their shootout victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins at South Philadelphia. They got the Predators tonight at home. South Philly, 7 o'clock puck drop. Sixers are off till tomorrow night, Halloween, where they hope to dress up like Boston Beaters tomorrow night. So I look forward to that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Coming up a little bit later today, 7:30 as a matter of fact, Locked On 76ers, me and Keith Pompey. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.